Hey everyone, I hope you've had a great day so far and that you're doing well. For this video we'll be going through an unboxing of the 1:48 scale X-4 PDF-802 Armored Infantry, and this particular Armored Infantry is from DoLLS 2, released by Plum this year being 2023. Now this actually isn't the first time I've looked at something from DoLLS. This is, funnily enough, the second time. The first time was actually the same Armored Infantry, but at the 1:35 scale. So it'll be interesting to see what happens at this 1:48 scale and how well it eventually compares. But from what I've seen, it looks quite promising. So front of the box for the Armored Infantry, two different infantry on the front of the box, just sporting some different poses. So we have Plum DoLLS 2, which if I recall was a bit more of a tactical RPG for the, I'm not sure it was PlayStation or PlayStation 2. Suffice to say, old PlayStation game. And bottom of the box with the relevant labeling. Now, one thing I will call out to now, this little 5-inch mechanism. So part of this little interesting subline is to recreate some of these particular mecha designs, etc., at this 5-inch scale. So DoLLS have been pretty much first off the rank. I think there's a few more from various games and anime, but I haven't seen anything announced or released yet, so time will tell. So interesting to see how that pans out. I guess we can start off with the side of the box. So here is one side of the boxes, or box. Just different poses of the Armored Infantry with its relevant weapons, which would be these two here, and then the other two images just regarding some of the build mechanics and joints, things like that. It's unfortunate that's still in Japanese, but what can you do? As for the other side of the box, still in Japanese, unfortunately, which is fine, but we do have a front and rear shot of the Armored Infantry. And from what I remember of the 1:35, everything looks to be in order. So, box done. Time to open it up, pull out the runners, pull out the manual, have a better look at what this kit basically is. And with everything out of the box, front of the manual, just a recreation of the front box art. Going to the back, so it's not like a Bandai manual, it's already going through steps of the construction. So let's try a different approach. So if you open up the manual, you will get to see more information about the Armored Infantry. Some of these images we've already seen from around the box. There's a little blurb about DoLLS. So it looks like this first came out in 1994. I cannot use this to confirm what PlayStation this was available for, but if it was 94, I want to say the original PlayStation. Definitely nice to see some of the basic line art down here as well. But yes, very cool for that. Just unfortunate that it is in Japanese with no English, and we do have a color guide up here in the upper left, but unfortunately I cannot ascertain the exact colors. I'm assuming a dark grey, a lighter grey, a white, a blue, and a green. Pure speculation. We do have a parts list, which is pretty stock standard for most types of Playmo kits, and then going straight into the build instructions, which pretty much look, they look the same from the last time I looked at a Plum kit, which would have been the 1:35 power door. Does look very, very cool. And the assembly looks pretty straightforward. Anything, having this at a smaller scale actually might be more conducive to building. Final assembly, and there are some little tidbits here. I'm assuming interchangeability, things like that. Might be one of those things to get Google Translate to see what that actually means. So that was the manual. And no stickers, which is cool. In terms of the runners, so a runner in white, which we have a little bit of detailing, which is very nice, so some panel lining will go a long way. A single B runner still in white. just like before, panel lining will definitely go a long way, especially for some of these grills and things like that. But I do like how, even though there's a little bit of panel lining, it's not overdone, given the general curvature and look of the exterior armor. Sea Runner in, I dare say, a lighter grey. Shoulder pad components, weapons. The weapons looking very, very nicely detailed. Very cool. We also have hand manipulators there as well. From here on in, the runners do get a bit smaller, so it's interesting given the size of the box. 2 D runners, functional copy, both in white. And of course, wouldn't be a video if I didn't knock something. 2 E runners, functional copy, still in grey. I think that'll be part of the feet, would be my guess. It's still banging that poor camera stand. F runner in blue. A single G runner in a bit of a light green, so I suspect that will be for the eye visor. And then lastly, an H runner back in grey, probably for some joints. So I'm assuming neck, arms, maybe. Time will tell. So that brings us to the end of the unboxing of the 1-48 X-4 PDF-802 Armoured Infantry from Power DoLLS 2. I'm hoping I actually built this one ahead of the 135 because of the reduced scale. And just looking through all those pieces, pre-snipping is not going to be an issue because it's probably close to a 1-144 gunpla kit as well, with some of the sizing of the components. So pre-snip, not a problem. My main concern with the 135 was some of the parts were a bit larger, and how they were going to use some space. But yeah, time will definitely tell how this one goes. I think this should be a relatively straightforward build, and even with the panel lining involved, isn't too intensive from what I can see. If anything, the weapons will probably be a bit more of a workout because of how detailed they are. Thank you very much for watching this unboxing video. Feel free to leave a like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed the content. All of this does help support the channel, and I do greatly appreciate it. Extra content can also be found on my Instagram account, link in the description below. It's also the same handle as the channel. And while I'm at it, there will be a link to this particular kit over at HobbyLink Japan, which is where I sourced mine from. So definitely check it out. Last I looked, it was available in stock. As a future ahead, there are some weapon components due for release later in this year. I think I missed a pre-order window, but that's okay. But it's similar to what I did with the 135, how it also had some supplementary accessories packaged on their own. So hopefully over time I managed to get those, but yeah, definitely the kit itself is, as I said, it's available over at HobbyLink if you want a bit more information. With that being said, stay safe, take care, and I will catch you all in a future video. See ya.